This is KSL Browser 5.0.
And welcome to the Browser 5.0, the show that brings you the best of the web, the latest headlines about tech, trends you'll want to try, and what everyone is talking about on social media. Let's get right to the buzz. Scott is not in the studio today, as you can tell. Instead, he is over at Startup Weekend, Salt Lake City. And Scott, okay, last they were doing what? The Vulcan Hauler? What are they doing now?
The Vulcan Mind Meld here,
yes.
essentially, is what they were doing. The Red Bull is on tap here because it's free-flowing. All of these guys and a few ladies. They're pretty excited about Startup at SLC. It's an event that started last night about 6 o'clock. We've got 177 participants. This goes until Saturday. So in 54 hours, we will have 16 new companies as a result of Startup SLC. And this is the largest Startup Weekend this year in the world. Alex Lawrence is one of the guys who brings us all together. So explain to everybody, I mean, really what happens during these 54 hours?
So last night we had, 180 people or so here. We had 57 ideas pitched. They get 1 minute to pitch the idea. After everybody's done pitching, they get 3 votes. So each idea went all the way down this hall with their name on a piece of paper. They got 3 votes. Then we kind of tallied the top 16 or so teams. We announced the top 16 groups, and then they walked around and recruited people. So
it's kind of like kickball when you choose. You say, okay, I want Johnny and Lucy, right?
A little different. They kind of walk around and they would tell people what their skills are, and they would say, hey, I need you. Will you join my team? And they self-create their teams.
Is there some competition because everybody wants that same guy who's a coder or something like that, or does everybody work it out?
We didn't really see much of that because there's so much talent here. Of the 170 plus, probably 125 are technical, so developers, engineers, designers, things like that. So there was plenty of talent to go around.
Yeah, so think about this. What were you doing 2 days ago? Were you starting up a company that was going to actually be functioning 2 days later? That's what will happen. A lot of these companies, they'll actually be generating revenue online within a 54-hour period. That's crazy.
Yeah, so from last night to Saturday night, 16 companies will be started, which is really pretty unique.
Now I see a lot of guys out here. Where are the ladies? Represent ladies. Here we got a couple. 1, 2, 3. We got about 6 ladies who are brave enough, right?
Yeah, my daughters will be here soon as well. So,
what kind of companies are we talking about? Now, you mentioned there are 16. Give me some of the ideas that move forward.
A couple in no particular order. We've got one called Prayer Roll, so people can put people on a prayer roll and then can virally pray for other people.
Okay.
We've got one called Fund My EDU, which is crowdsourcing for funding education. We actually have Google Glass here, over there on the far end. I don't know if you can see Kevin. They're building one of the very first apps for Google Glass, a polling thing, using a company called Wedgies out of Las Vegas to build that. And then we've got another one for moms, a service that helps moms get rewarded for all the stuff that they do. We've got and some other really technical stuff.
And some crazy ideas. When we did Startup Weekend up in Ogden, a few months back, I mean, they did the Movember. Some team came up with the app for the Movember and Grow the Mustache for the month of November. I mean, the ideas can be anything, and it's amazing what actually sticks with some of these companies.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Wizard Wars. We've got some guys doing some gaming stuff, and we've got actually somebody trying to disrupt KSL.com with classifieds.
All right. We'll find out which table that is.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to send it back to you in the studio, Lori, and we'll have more from Startup SLC in just a little bit. Lori? All right, Lori, thank you. And we are back here live at Startup SLC. But we're not just in Salt Lake City. This place is a little different. You may be wondering, where are these guys? Kind of looks like a mini Times Square in here. We've got RC Willie over here, Zions Bank. Well, we're going to explain what JA City is all about. And it's Friday, which means we're looking at another fun fitness trend that you may want to try out, how the bar method is more than just ballet.
And we've got some rain to the west of town. We'll talk about it coming up.
And welcome back to the Browser 5.0. We are live at Startup Weekend SLC, and the location for Startup Weekend is actually in JA City, Junior Achievement City, just above Discovery Gateway here at Gateway in downtown Salt Lake. Yeah, they're getting excited. We've got Becky Harding here from Junior Achievement, and a lot of people may have never been to JA City. Explain to them what this is all about.
Okay, JA City is our hands-on experiential field trip for students, primarily 5th graders. So we're talking 10 and 11-year-olds come and run this city. You'll notice all of the storefronts. We are sponsored by the business community. So they bring in their storefronts, and then these students have to come in and run the business for the day. And we have student CEOs and CFOs and whatever else the business entails.
You know what's fantastic is you talk to some of the kids who come through this, and they have no idea really until they get here what it takes to run a company, what it takes to be the mayor of the city. We're in First Security Bank right here. You've got Zions Bank over there, City Hall just around the corner. So it's trying to really replicate as much as you can a model of a city, and these kids get a real life experience.
Right. They have to learn how to write a check and balance a checkbook and use a debit card, use a credit card. They actually apply for the jobs too, so they learn how to apply for jobs.
Yeah, parents love JA City. Let me tell you right now, parents love it when their kids come. So how many students are we talking about who get to experience this?
Throughout the year, we get about 10,000 students through here, and that covers about 150 schools throughout the state. We use a lot of volunteers from our business community and the parents.
And we don't have time to name off all the businesses who have contributed, but again, millions of dollars have been poured into building this city and then keeping it going. But a big thank you to everybody who's been involved, right?
Absolutely. We couldn't do it without our sponsors and volunteers.
Okay, well, Startup Weekend SLC right here in JA City. We'll be back. We'll talk with a couple of the teams and find out who's got the inside track for the big prize come Saturday.